Hello, today I'm going to review the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man figure. And this is the Tobey Maguire version of Spider-Man, obviously. And this is also my favorite version of Spider-Man, so that's why I got this figure. So first things first, I'll show you what's on the box, and then we'll get on into the figure. On the front of the box, it just says Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home. And they made a few different figures from this line, also from different Spider-Man movies, but they all had that same branding, I guess, because they could get the license to all of the movies that way. The little paper fell out. On the back, though, it shows a little bit about the figure and what he comes from. It says, "Our friendly neighborhood hero swings in to help his fellow Spideys in his iconic suit." And that's the only thing it says back there in English, so I'm not going to read anymore. But you can see that we have the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figure here. Looking at the figure, I think this is very, very detailed, and the face sculpt looks exactly like Tobey Maguire, I think, all the way down to the cleft in his chin and everything. This really does look very lifelike. And one of the first things you might notice about the detailing on this figure is that they have like every stitch of fabric and every little seaming stuff molded into this guy. It's so cool. Even like on the pants, you can see where they have like fabric printed into it. This is a extremely detailed figure. And it also feels really cool to the touch, the way that the gridding, like the webbing is on his suit. It's just really cool. And you can see he has the little spider emblem right there on his suit on the front, and as we turn him around, you can see they put even more details on the back. Get that off. Is that okay? Well, anyway, you can see that they have kind of like extra joints back here. I think these are what you call butterfly joints, where you can bend his shoulders back even more or forward even more. He has a lot of fabric details on the back too. And around the bottom of the shoes, he has some pegs for if you want to put them on a stand, and has more of that webbing detail. And I like the way that the joints are kind of done on this figure. They're not so noticeable, I don't think, because they all kind of blend into that suit just right. And let me look for more details. You can see he has a hand that has the hand open with all the fingers coming out. And he has another hand where he has it in a fist. And this figure also comes with two more hands. They're just web slinging hands where he has his his web slinging pose. I don't really take the hands off of these figures very much, so I probably won't be using those, but it is cool to have those just as extras. And let me see if there's any more details that we need to go over in the face. You can see around the back how they did all his hair detail, and he actually comes with a swappable head for if you want to take that off. You can put, I get the camera to focus, you can put the Spider-Man mask onto him. And I really like how that looks. Although I've never taken a head off one of these figures because I feel it damages the joints and kind of scrapes the paint off. So I'm not going to be doing that. However, I do have another use for this helmet, which will be when I get my Doc Ock figure. I'm going to have him revealing Spider-Man's identity while he has him held up in the air with his claws. So I will be using the mask in that kind of display. So the next thing I'll go over on this figure is all his articulation. So starting off with the head, he has articulation up there in the head. It's a little bit stiffer, but I'm not going to complain too much. I will say, from this view, his neck is like so long. That's probably the only bad view here. I'd say the reason being so that when you put, the Spider-Man mask on, it still has room to bend and all that. And this is actually the first time I've even noticed this on this figure. I don't think it's that bad. It's kind of funny, if anything. You don't notice it from any other angle, though. It's just so that the joint on this figure can, have more room, I guess. But as we go on down, he has another joint. Oh, I thought he had another one on the neck, but I guess he doesn't. He has joints in his shoulders. And as I said about these, you can kind of bend these forward and back just a little bit. They give a little bit more motion. Not very much, but it's there. Articulation in the elbows and in the hands. I'm not going to bend the elbows just yet until I get him into his pose, because I want to keep those joints as stiff as I can right now for what I'm going to try to do. He has joints in his abdomen, I guess, well, up here is in his chest, but it looks like he has some here too. Yeah, he does. You can actually bend this figure down from there. I find that really cool. And he has joints up here in his thighs, and he has the little turnable joints, you know, where you can turn the leg sideways. He has double joints in the knees, where you can get a full, you know, back kick out of that. And he has joints in the feet. So plenty of joints on this figure, I think. Definitely a very good Spider-Man action figure. So now I'm going to try put him into a pose and see how that looks. Okay, overall I'd say this figure is a 9 out of 10. It's a really good figure, I think. And the printing on the metallic parts, I will say, feels like it could rub off if you mess with it too much, so I don't like that. But it feels good enough for just, if you're posing it every once in a while, then I don't really see it coming off or doing anything. I did switch out one of the hands, and I was going to put him into a pose with Dr. Octopus where he was holding him up, but I can't get the arms on that one to wrap around him right, so I settled with this. I think it looks good though. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.